going to the airport? Why, how impolite of him. I asked him a civil question and he pretended not to hear me.
If it helps, Rayanne is 150 years old, so technically she'd be the cradle robber.
See why I have to go back?
I really don't know why it's such a big deal, though.
My first role that I ever did acting was in an acting class when I was 8 years old. And I had, like at the end of the class, it was taught by someone who has since passed away. Lisa Clarkson was her name. She was an amazing actress. She had been on Broadway a couple of times, but she really like saw my potential, which was nice. But she had me do this scene from Alice in Wonderland. And I played Alice and got to dress up as her, and I performed. And I think that was my first ever time performing like a given scene in front of a group of people. And then the next year I performed in a play. I was the girl in the pale pink coat, or a musical, a girl in the pale pink coat in The Sound of Music. So that was like my first two, I think, like roles that I did, my first like role in my first performance. And I do really remember them, and they're both videotaped, so it's nice to kind of look back. Yeah.
Okay, because I was about to ask for the footage, for the images. Can we see part of this in your social media?
I don't think I have the Alice in Wonderland one posted anywhere, but I definitely have footage I can send you from that. And then my Sound of Music one, I don't know where the footage is. I have other footage from like a play that I was in a couple years later that on my Instagram, but I'll look through and send you whatever I have.
Okay, perfect, Grace. And also within all of this, the script, how do you deal with this process of learning a script? What's your method in order to memorize everything? How do you usually do that?
So I actually don't remember how I memorized scripts. Like when I used to do theater, like before I was 13, it was all theater, and I don't remember what process I used at all. I think I was just reading it so much that I eventually memorized it. But lately, like what I've been doing since I was 13 is when I have to memorize script, obviously I do all my background research, look into everything, find out as much information, break it down. But then when it comes to memorizing, I use voice memos, and I'll record myself saying the other person's lines and leave space for my own lines, so then I can play it back and it's like I'm having a conversation, because I don't want to just memorize my lines, because I want to be able to go off of what the other person's giving me. So I make sure that I record it and memorize it by listening to the other lines as well.
Wow, and I believe that's a really cool and interesting method. I remember so much this scene of Leo DiCaprio in this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with he practicing and recording the dialogue from the other person. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, excellent. And also, when it is time to get into a character, how do you deal with this process? How do you deal with emotions? Do you use your personal emotions, or you get into the character like 100%?
For me, a lot of the time, I will use like past experiences, but I feel like if I really dive into the character, and if I really just identify what everything means, like what my relationship is, how I was raised, if I just figure all that out, I can usually just really embody it and feel it. And now if there's sometimes where it's a very emotional scene, and say like I've never experienced what my character is crying about, and that can be a complicated situation, so I'll use like a past experience of mine that's might be similar, and find that makes me very emotional, and build off of that. So I'm thinking about that, but most of the time I'm able to just get there by really being the character after like a lot of analyzation and all of that.
Wow, excellent, Grace. And also within all of this, what could you say regarding acting life, it's the easiest and the hardest so far for you, based in your experience?
Oh my gosh, that's such a hard question. The easiest part, um, the, the easiest part, I feel like now is for for me, like I think originally auditions were a very scary feeling, and I mean still there's nerves, but I feel like after you do it so often, those become a little bit easier, and it just becomes you don't take it as such a nerve-wracking thing. Like it doesn't like it's not life or death anymore,
Ah.
and I think that just makes it easier knowing like a lot of the times it's not even about me. It might be about how tall I am that they don't want me, or how old I am. So doing something like that, I feel like that makes it a bit easier, and just doing the scene. Honestly, I feel like that becomes easier. Like just once you've learned it all and just throwing all your notes away and just doing it, I feel like that moment is just so easy because you're so into it. But then there's so many hard moments, really difficult moments as well. Like I mean, some scenes are easy to memorize, some are pretty difficult depending on length and topic. But I think for me, the most difficult part has always been like mentally off, like behind the scenes, because growing up as a child actor, you're constantly going against other people and being compared to other people, and a lot of your friends are also actors, so obviously like when they book something you're excited for them, but it can also be a lot like why isn't this happening for me, and it's very mentally and emotionally just damaging seeing like all of your friends do amazing things and you feeling like you can't do anything. I think that's the hardest part, is having to be being in such a competitive industry and work environment at such a young age, and having to learn how to deal with all of that.
Wow, excellent facts, interesting so much. Thanks so much, Grace. And within all of this mental health, how important is it to you and to this industry, to the entertainment industry, the mental health nowadays? Do you think it's more difficult than back 20 years because of social media, or how can you struggle with mental health nowadays?
I think social media has made everything worse, honestly, mental health wise. Yes, it's nice to be able to keep up with people that you don't see in your day-to-day life that might be across the country, but it's also very damaging seeing, oh, this party that I wasn't invited to, or this thing that I didn't book, and you're constantly being reminded of all the things that you don't have. And so that's a very damaging thing. And mental health also just wasn't talked about as much 20 years ago. Like, it was a shameful thing. I mean, I was first diagnosed with anxiety when I was 7 years old, and even then it wasn't a thing people talked about. I didn't know what it was. Nobody knew what it it was not mentioned in entertainment anywhere. I felt so alone. And nowadays I feel like it's such a bigger thing. Like, it's talked about. It's portrayed in films and stuff, and I think that's such an important thing, because mental health is just as important as physical health, and it's something that can't be ignored.
And also regarding within all of this acting life, how do you organize your day-on-a-day basis, including school? In school, when it is about school and acting, how do you organize your day?
So that was always a very tough process. So I did theater before, until I did theater. I still do theater, but theater was my main focus until I was about 13. And so I was in school that whole time. I would just do theater, in school or locally, and I didn't have to take off school. So once I got to high school and COVID hit, it was okay, but that's when I started really taking film and TV acting classes and taking that more seriously, and it became too much because I would be in school in class and memorizing sides for an audition, and I couldn't pay attention. So eventually I went virtual my junior year, and it was just easier for my team and everything for me being home, and it it was nice to be able to have, like, because I did virtual school, so I kind of organized my own schedule, and I was able to, if I got an audition, I was able to drop everything and work on that. And then I was also able to graduate a year early, and I took a gap year and focused on my acting, and I taught dance during that year. So it was a lot balancing the two. And in college, it's been even crazier because I don't have the option to be virtual. So it's just really long days. Like my studio days will be 9 to 5, and then I'll come back home and have to do an audition. So it's just kind of always being prepared and ready. And I take any time that any free time I have, I use it wisely. I get things done that I need to get done. I don't put anything off. Yes, that was such a fun experience and opportunity. I've loved New York Fashion Week, the whole idea of it, and just fashion in general since I was a kid. And I did some modeling, and I hadn't done any in a while, and that opportunity kind of found me. And I sent in some, walking audition or whatever, and they wanted to have me. And it was just such a cool experience. It was a long day, but it was such a nice thing to be able to be back on a runway. I had missed that, so.
Wow, excellent, because within these episodes, I just met Carolina Resendi and Caitlin Lackey, and both actresses and models actually walked this New York Fashion Week, the event this year actually, and I believe it is so cool. Okay. And the second one, in case you didn't know, we have this interview with Carson Jean Holly back on this March 2024, and it is my belief that you have a common project, isn't it? The day we met, isn't it?
Yes, we met, we played sisters in that, and we are both from Florida, or we both live in Florida, and we met doing that project, and since then we've been best friends. We actually got to see each other again at the Orlando Independent Filmmakers Awards last year, and it was towards the beginning of the year, but we got to see each other again and spent like a lot of time. We got ready for the event together, and our moms got to see each other again. And she's just an amazing actress. She is now my forever sister after that, and any chance we get to see each other, we always take it.
Wow, excellent. Thank you so much, Grace, for this first part. And now, if you like, we would love to talk about your internet movie database. I'm going to mention 3 of your projects, and you're going to tell me the funniest or the coolest experience you ever had within these shootings, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, the first one, yours, Maybe Tomorrow Will Be Better, your short film.
That was such a fun project to do. It started off as an audition for college, and eventually I was like, I want to make this like an actual film. And so I filmed it all myself, did all of that. I auditioned actors to play my mother in it, and I ended up actually casting my mother. She kind of nailed that audition, not gonna lie. And I had 2 of my amazing friends, Kaylin and Brianne. They were in it as well, but we weren't in the same location. They videotaped it from, I just gave them kind of instructions because it was supposed to be over FaceTime, their scenes. And so they did that from their homes, and they got to be in it. So it was pretty cool, and it was cool to see it all come together. And I think it was my first time directing, writing, and producing a project. So it was a very cool process.
Excellent, Grace. The second one, The Day We Met, actually, this short film.
That was it was a nice thing in the fact that I got to meet Carson. It was a very quick shoot, but Carson and I met through that, so I'm really grateful for that experience.
Cool, Grace. And finally, the third one, Through the Glass, also a short film.
That was my first ever short film. I booked it when I was 15, I believe, and it was we shot it in January in Florida and different on different locations, and
Mhm.
it was, for some reason, it was abnormally freezing during that month in Florida, and I was in like a nightgown and socks running around the woods, and so it was just, like as soon as they would say cut, like we'd throw on our puffers, and like I'd have my boots. So but it was, there were other kids on that set. Like I had this girl who practically, we were part of a cult, so she practically like was my little sister, and we had a lot of fun on set together. Played a lot behind the scenes, climbed trees and stuff. So it was a really fun experience. And getting my makeup done, our makeup artist was insane, and it was so good.
Wow, excellent, excellent, great. Thank you so much for sharing us these cool experiences for your internet movie database. And finally, this third part, the hot takes. Would you like to?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. We can start with comedy or thriller.
Oh my gosh. I don't. I love both so much, but as of right now, if I were to pick one, like if I were to go watch a movie, I'd say thriller right now.
Wow, excellent, excellent. Another one, thriller or drama.
I think thriller, because thriller has a bit of drama in it.
Okay, another excellent answer, Grace. Another one, drama or comedy.
Ooh, I like a combination of the two, but I'll say a drama.
Wow, excellent choice. Once more, Grace, you're killing it. Another one, acting or directing.
Acting. I definitely want to direct later in life, but right now my thing is acting.
Okay. Directing or singing.
Singing.
Okay, excellent. Acting or singing.
Acting.
Wow, excellent. Acting is wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What could you consider has been your biggest accomplishment so far?
Ooh, that's a good question. I recently booked an indie feature that I can't say much about, but I feel like career-wise, that's probably my biggest thing, because it's a movie that's gonna be on some, like it's gonna be available. So that's like exciting, and also being nominated for the Young Artist Award. I think those two are the biggest things recently. Yeah.
Okay, excellent, Grace. Yes, I was about to ask you for that. Okay, excellent. And another one, what would you consider is your biggest fear?
Ooh. I'd say my biggest fear is failure. I think that's always been just a big fear of mine. And then besides that, bugs. I have an irrational fear of bugs. It's concerning.
Okay. Another one, what's something most people don't know about you?
Ooh. I'm really good at special effects makeup, which not a lot of people know that, actually. I recently used it in my my theater company at NYU.
Wow.
I had to do it for some stuff we were doing, and so those people now know, but most people don't know that.
Wow, excellent. Wow. I didn't know actually that because it's not in your info or whatsoever. Okay. Another one, have you ever Googled yourself?
I have, actually. I've done that, and it's interesting to see, because I feel like we had an assignment where we had to Google ourselves in like middle school, and like even then I had stuff popping up, just because I've always been in the performance industry, from competitive dancing and stuff, and I think it's interesting to see like how it changes over the years and what becomes like a more a bigger interest to people. So what pops up first, but I don't do it often, because sometimes it's like you don't really want to see what's on there, and it's but yeah, it is every once in a while to be like, oh, okay, that's interesting that picture is the first one to pop up now.
Oh, okay, excellent. And another one, What is one TV show you can watch over and over? Do you have one?
Um, one TV show. I've watched so many because I watch a lot with my grandma and mom, but a show that I've seen multiple times all the way through. Honestly, I feel like too like that are just like good relaxing shows. Wizards of Waverly Place is what I've watched so many times. It was one of my favorite shows as a kid, and I've seen the whole thing all the way through probably 4 times. And then H2O Just Said Water is another one of those where I was just obsessed with it, and I loved watching it. But now,
Mhm.
currently, I've been watching a lot of Fuller House with my mom and grandma. It's a nice family show, so that one's a big one. Modern Family, New Girl. I feel like I try not to rewatch shows because there's so many amazing things out there. So even if I want to, I try and watch something new. So I'm constantly watching new stuff, but I love everything I watch. So
Okay, okay. Wow, excellent answer, Grace. Okay, okay. And another one, if you could meet any famous person from the past or from now, which person would you love to meet?
ooh, um, ooh. No. Specifically working with, I'd love to meet them and then work with them. Anna Kendrick is a big one. She has been someone I've looked up to since I was really little. Also, Jennifer Aniston, love everything she does. And who's it?
Yes.
Emily Blunt and Emma Watson, those two as well.
Mhm.
But my list goes on and on. But I think those four are in my top 10, I'd say.
Wow, excellent, excellent, Grace. Once more, you're killing it. Another one, what could you consider your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve. Oh. In New York, especially, it's slow walkers. It gets to me because like it's just you have places to be, and then there's people who will just walk and stop right in front of you, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, go off to the side. I'm gonna run you over. Places to be. Like, it gets me more irritated than I would like to ever be. And especially at like 8 a.m. walking to my class, I'm like, I don't need to feel this irritated.
Okay, perfect, perfect, Grace. Another one, what is your favorite holiday?
I was actually just saying this earlier because I was watching a Modern Family Christmas episode, but I'd say my favorite is Christmas and second favorite is Halloween. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent, excellent choices, Grace. Okay, okay. Another one, do you have favorite accounts to follow on social media?
Ooh, I don't know. I try. I follow a lot of. I have a lot of acting friends that I've met over the years and things. So I follow a lot of people. I don't know if I have a favorite. There are some like. I know I used to have like a meme one that I followed, and it was just nice to be able to scroll through Instagram and you see all these accomplishments, but then you laugh. There's something that makes you laugh, or there's some mental health like ones that I follow, or with quotes and things. A manifestation one. I follow a manifestation one, and it shows me a different manifestation for each day, and I think that's a really good thing for me. So I'd say that's my favorite one, actually.
Wow, excellent, excellent. And speaking within all of this, the laughing, what makes you laugh the most?
Lately it's been when I'm like, honestly, my grandma and my mom and I are like, people say there should be a TV show about our lives because just the three of us together, like even watching a show, it's just like, what is happening? It's very funny to people. And the three of us will like, something will happen on a TV show. My grandma will start cracking up and my mom's like, I don't know why she's laughing. And then I can't stop. So I think with the two of them, I've been laughing a lot lately. And then just with friends, I feel like getting delusional. Yeah, like when you're just like, it's like 2 a.m. and you're like, the silliest little things will just make you laugh and you can't stop. But I don't know if there's anything in particular that just makes me laugh, but I think just a bunch of little things. I try to find joy in everything. So
Okay, okay, excellent, excellent answer once more, Grace. And I have another one. Which another language would you love to learn besides English?
ooh, so I took like 10 years of Spanish when I was younger, from ages 4 to 13, so I guess 9 years. And I feel like I would have become fluent, but then I got stuck in French in high school
Oh,
and forgot everything I had ever learned. So I think I would like to go back to that, but I'm also, I do a bit of Gaelic because my grandfather was from Ireland, and that it's kind of sad because that language has been forgotten. It's just not a big language anymore, and so I know a bit of that, and then sign language is one too.
okay.
I had to learn it for an audition once, and I'm getting more used to that, and I do want to. I feel like that's the one that I'm going to learn, like try to become fluent in, like soon.
Wow, excellent, Grace. And do you know a few words in Spanish? Like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo
I can
Grace.
do. I went to a Catholic school, so we used to start every Spanish class with like, it would be like a 10-minute long set of prayers. So I can say like, en el nombre del Padre, Hijo y Espíritu Santo, Amen.
Wow.
Sign of the cross, Spanish. I got that one. Or hola, me llamo Grace. Muy bien, y tú?
Wow.
A little bit that stuff I've retained, but I've forgotten. I wish I remembered more.
Okay, okay, excellent, excellent, Grace. And an excellent answer, I have to say, because in case you didn't know, I'm from Mexico City.
How
Okay,
was my
okay.
Spanish? Was it okay?
Muy bien, muy bueno tu español.
Oh, thank you. Gracias.
No, thanks to you. And another one, what's your favorite actor and actress do you have right now? Like,
I think the actress wise, I can't pick one, but it would have to, again, it's a list. Like, I feel like all the actresses I want to work with are my top actor, like just actresses in general. So yeah, Jennifer Aniston, Anna Kendrick. And I feel like the more I watch new shows and stuff, I fall in love with certain people, and I get more interested in their work. And so I'm constantly adding to that list. But my favorite actor, I lately I've seen some stuff with Ryan Reynolds he's amazing. John Krasinski obviously is wonderful. Leonardo DiCaprio.
mhm.
I think those are probably some of my favorite actors. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And two final questions. The first one, your favorite song and movie right now?
My favorite song. I've been listening to a lot of country lately.
Oh,
So I'd say, I don't know. The first one that popped in my head was "Something in the Orange." I don't even remember who it's by, but that's the first one that popped in my head. So we're gonna go with that one.
okay, okay.
And then my favorite movie. See, I'm the kind of person where, like, if you had asked me that question and I have to pull out my list of 40 different films and be like, well, I think it's between all of these. But the first one that pops into my head, I guess because we were talking about Anna Kendrick, Pitch Perfect's always a good one, or Harry Potter, too. Those are amazing films. So maybe those two are in my top 20, I'll say.
Okay, okay, excellent, excellent answers, Grace. And finally, which kind of message would you love to give to your past self if you have the opportunity?
I think I would tell my past self that you don't have to work so hard for people's approval, and if people don't like you for who you are, they're not worth it. And because I think that was something I struggled with. I was bullied a lot as a kid, and I think I was always trying to make friends with people that didn't want to be my friend. And I think I would tell you, you're gonna be doing amazing things like later in life. Like you don't need them. It's not worth your time. Like focus on what things you love and don't worry about these people. Hi, my name is Grace Schnitzius. I am an actress. I have been in the industry for a while. Since I was about 8 years old, I've been acting, and you can follow me on social media at GRACE SCHNITZIUS, GRACESCHNITZIUS. Yeah.
And I wanted to know finally what are you up to like today and the weekend? Do you have any plans? You're on vacations, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm on summer vacation, so I'm back home in Florida, but I've been auditioning like crazy, so I'm just hoping some of these, but I as of right now, about 3 short films that I'm gonna be filming coming up soon. And besides that, I have, lately it's just been a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff that I've had to get out of the way. And but yeah, I'm trying to take it easy because as I get later in my summer, it's gonna get really busy. So I'm trying to take these couple of weeks to really relax and unwind.
Wow. And how long are the vacations in the US, like the summer ones?
Well, for NYU, we have like 4 months off, which is insane. But it's also really needed because it's such an intense. It's amazing school, but it's such an intense amount of work. So like I got home and was just sleeping like crazy. And so I think it's needed and nice to have a break. But yeah, 4 months.
Wow, excellent. And so you're going to NYU?
Yes, I go to NYU, and so I'm supposed to go back in September. Yeah. I'll send you some footage later tonight.
Okay. Excellent, Grace. Thanks so much. Hope you're having an amazing Monday.
You too. Bye.
Bye.